Clarendon Hills, a woodsy suburb of Chicago, is today a quiet, middle-class community. But 60 years ago it was different. Many residents went to bed early after a day working on their farms. Suddenly, a loud, peculiar noise awoke them. Dogs barked and dishes rattled. The shadow of a plane flying far too low comes into view. The start of Labor Day weekend on September 1st, 1961, would be remembered by them forever. Within seconds, Transworld Airlines Flight 529, an early model Constellation built by Lockheed, slams into a cornfield with a tremendous force. Then, all is quiet for a moment, until the crumpled airframe explodes. The flames snuff out the lives of all 78 souls aboard. 20 of the passengers are children. The accident is big news, the nation's third worst aviation accident. As a red-eyed tourist flight arriving at Chicago's Midway Airport from Pittsburgh an hour earlier, Flight 529's next stop is Las Vegas before terminating in San Francisco. Departing Midway a minute past midnight, all appears routine. The Constellation climbs into a dark, overcast sky. Within 2 minutes, it begins to shake uncontrollably. Passengers and belongings are thrown throughout the cabin. Stuck in a series of aerodynamic stalls, it's impossible to regain control. Descending vertically with little forward airspeed, the plane gains some altitude, then loses far more, dropping like a rock. There's no control of the plane's elevator. The captain suspects its hydraulic booster has failed. He reaches for its disconnect handle. The handle is number 17 in this photo. He pulls the handle, but nothing happens. It will not budge. Hydraulic pressure is fighting his actions. The twinkling lights of Chicago ever closer, the plane sheds its parts. Suddenly the horizontal stabilizer cracks and then separates from the fuselage. TWA Flight 529 crashes in a cornfield 11 miles west of Midway Airport. No one survives. The next morning, the Civil Aeronautics Board and the Federal Aviation Agency start an investigation. The investigators discover an important clue. The separated tail section is found with its flight controls intact. They also notice that the linkage for a valve that controls the elevator boost cylinder lacks a bolt. Not only is the bolt missing, but also its cotter pin and castellated nut. They will never be found. The wreckage is trucked to a hangar. An arrow at the top of the photo points to the severed stabilizer. Transworld Airlines insists that the bolt fell out during the crash, but CAB investigators conclude that it exited in flight and caused the accident. The investigators uncover a grease pattern, the diameter of a dime, on the elevator linkage. A forensic analysis concludes that a nut had not been installed during an earlier maintenance check at TWA. The design of the boost disengage device needed to change, but neither TWA or Lockheed spent money to upgrade it. During a CAB hearing, the TWA mechanic responsible for assembling the controls can't remember if he'd installed the missing pin. Once the probable cause for the accident is public, TWA and its lawyers refuse to accept responsibility. The crash site remains undisturbed. It serves as an unmarked memorial to acknowledge the lives of 78 men, women, and children who died in the field on that fateful night. Flight failure documents Flight 529's history and the lives of its victims. It also unravels the forensics work that determined its mystifying cause.